Sony's E3 press conference opened up. I gotta say, it opened up kind of weird. You had this live orchestra, and they were playing something that sounded, pretty epic. Uh, it was well arranged, well well written. Um, it had some weird points to it though, and they're in this. I guess it was a venue that they had used before, but it was just a standard um, theater looking like venue with a red curtain, almost like you'd expect to see a play or the Tonys be done there. And they they built this up, and then they just basically had one guy come out, talk a little bit about, you know, Sony in general. They didn't go. What was so awesome about this E3, and I've been seeing companies do this more and more, they tend to not get bogged down in the details of, hey, we've sold this many million units this year, and our user base is this large, and now, everyone's got a reason to develop for our system the best games, blah blah. It that's one thing that gamers honestly don't care about.
No.
We
I think Microsoft did that a lot.
They do. I kind of feel like I you know I do prefer Sony to Microsoft, but pretty sure most people would agree with me when I say Microsoft has they haven't figured out how to do a really good E3 press conference. They've had the games to do it with, but they just, I don't know. There's a feel to them. They try to force certain emotions. They try to. I just go look on YouTube for all of the cringeworthy moments in Microsoft. They're not as bad as EA has been in the past, or Ubisoft. I would say those are the worst as far as just moments that make you cringe. But yeah, Microsoft isn't far behind there. Anyway, with that out of the way, they open up, and this reveal was amazing. You just have this little boy, looks like, he's possibly, he's definitely living in like a almost pre-middle age setting. And he goes into his house, and you just hear this big burly voice, and the lighting reveals that, oh my goodness, it's Kratos with a beard, no less.
That beard was dope.
It is. And he's a lot less angry. And honestly, I don't know what they're going to do with this. I don't know if this is a full-on reboot, and the title of God of War is just going to pass to someone else. I don't know if this is the same Kratos from the other God of War games. He just seems a lot more just focused and not so rage filled, and wanting to tear everything he sees to pieces. And a lot of people compared it to The Last of Us, just how you have like an adult paired with a child. And I don't know if this is going to go throughout the whole game or anything, but the demo played out. He took down a troll. He definitely got him pinned and just bashed its brains in, just like good old Kratos. And but it wasn't like overtly gory. Like, you didn't see a whole bunch of blood and guts flying. But he did kill it, just like he is prone to do. It's interesting because if you know anything about God of War, you probably know Kratos' backstory about how the reason why he has the ashen red tattoo type skin thing going on is because Ares, the god of war, tricked him into killing his family, and that starts him on the road to revenge in the first game. And all that's the reason why his skin looks that way is because the ashes of his dead family basically got cursed and attached to him. Messed up backstory, gotta say. But that's Kratos. And here, I don't see how they're going to explain that if this is a completely new person, a completely new character. Maybe they do. Maybe they fit it in somehow. It was interesting during the demo. There was a part where looked like the person playing the demo had to push in both joysticks to, L3, R3, to activate something on the screen that said Spartan Rage. And this whole demo is taking place in what looks like a Norse mythology kind of setting. It's in a forest. Looks beautiful. And but to have something called Spartan Rage, Spartans only existed in Sparta and Greece. So I don't know if that's just going to be a reference to the old games, but it was impressive. It definitely will be an interesting direction to take that franchise. Did you get to at least see the demo?
I did.
What did you think of that?
I definitely agree with the whole Norse route, because everything about it it kind of screams, just like Viking type. It's just got like that type of feel, kind of like a Skyrim almost, because Skyrim's a little bit
it's very much inspired
Norse.
by
Yeah. And just watching this, it kind of not felt that it looked similar in like a style. The boy definitely looks like he could be like the son of a Viking, or some type of Norse warrior. And then, like you said, he was able to activate something called Spartan Rage. I think the reason why it's called just God of War this time, I think Kratos, like, you probably killed everyone in Greece that was a god and was just like, I want to go find somewhere else.
What other mythologies are there that I can tackle?
Thor is getting really popular right now. Let's go kill him.
Oh, goodness. I hadn't even thought of Thor being in this game.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But yeah, he definitely probably is.
And I'm sure we're not the only two people to get that whole, like, Norse Viking feel from this game. Even like at the end of the demo, when it just said like God of War, it had like red paint with like little like
a Gaelic symbol,
yeah,
basically.
Yeah, it didn't look Roman anymore.
Right.
So I feel like this is the same Kratos from the last God of War games, but I feel like maybe he like ran away and maybe tried to have somewhat of a normal life, because it's clearly his son, so maybe he tried to start over somewhere else in like Northern Europe, and they'll probably they'll probably answer what happened to his mom, the kid's mom, because she definitely existed, and her and Kratos definitely had that child, probably. Because he also calls him dad.
Yeah.
So they'll probably tie in a reason to why Kratos is training him, and why she's not there. She probably died at the hand of maybe like a Norse god or some type of demon. Also, the troll mentioned, I think it was Asgard, or not Asgard, Valhalla.
I think so, yeah.
He said something about Valhalla, so that's another point for that. But everything about that demo was just like exciting. It was a new kind of feel to the God of War series. Kratos wasn't like crazy and going on rampages. He was calm and collected, and but definitely still the same vicious Spartan that he always is, and doesn't have his Blades of Chaos anymore.
Nope. Yeah, those are nowhere.
Traded that in for a sweet ice axe that he can just like force throw and pull back, which is awesome. And the bow, I don't know if the boy can shoot lightning arrows or if the bow has lightning imbued to it, but
There was
while they were fighting the
something.
troll, he definitely used some type of electrical attack with the bow. Um, Maybe it's the bow, maybe he has some type of, maybe he can use different elemental powers like Kratos was able to. Um,
Maybe it's because they're called bolts. Little arrows that are called bolts. Uh,
it's only for crossbows.
huh?
Crossbows use bolts.
Okay, well, close enough.
That was terrible. But yes, definitely looks like a great game.
Even down to the camera angle. If you notice,
Oh
like
yeah,
traditionally God of War camera angles are very far away from him. They let you see the huge expanse of the environment. Here, it's got the whole,
kind of like Gears of War, Mass Effect.
yeah, almost like a shooter game where you're third person and it's slightly over the shoulder, which is it's completely different for a God of War game. But yeah, looks interesting. At the very least, it looks interesting.